Hi guys, I'm Live Kenya. If you've never watched any of my videos, welcome to the family. So guys, I've been away for about 2 months. I've not been posting any of my YouTube videos. You guys have been concerned, you have DM'd me. Thank you so much for your concern. Even those who commented on my videos, I am back. It's been 2 months and I've been working on a project. I was furnishing 2 apartments somewhere in Nyali. You can see with the sea view. Yes, they are very beautiful apartments. I'll show you. I don't know if I'll make it in this video, but I think I'll show you in another video. 2 beautiful apartments with a swimming pool and a sea view. So when you come to Mombasa, I got you. I promised to give you a breakdown of the budget of my trip from Mombasa to Dar es Salaam and to Zanzibar and back. This is just a breakdown of the budget of the entire trip. If you do not watch any of the episodes in that trip, this is your chance to watch. I've combined them in a documentary. It is a 3-hour documentary. If you have the time, watch the 3-hour documentary for the entire journey from Mombasa to Dar es Salaam and the trip around the entire Zanzibar. This is by road, remember that, by road driving. So if you want to take a similar trip, watch the documentary, or if you are interested in specific places, I've also shorter episodes that I've combined to make the documentary. The first question that I want to answer before I go down to the budget is, most of you have been meaning to do the road trip driving and they've been wondering where I put my car when I crossed the ferry to Zanzibar. We booked a very beautiful apartment. If you've seen my video on one of the videos, there is this very beautiful apartment in Zanzibar which is next to the ferry. Now, one thing you need to know is that the Zanzibar ferry does not carry vehicle. So if you've gone with your car, just be sure you leave it in Dar es Salaam. If you'll be going to Zanzibar, just know that you will have to park it somewhere in Zanzibar. We've passed Lunga Lunga and now we are headed towards the border. It is a one-stop border post, so we expect that we'll just stop in one station and clear everything there. We've already made our passport, our temporary passports, done yellow fever vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine. We have the logbook for the car because I was told the logbook is required, and the driving license also should also be valid. So the first day we stayed in Nefaland. It is a hotel just somewhere near the Dar es Salaam town city, and it costed us 130,000 Tanzanian shillings. Those were 2 rooms, self-contained rooms. They were not like furnished apartments, they're just rooms inclusive of breakfast. 2 rooms, 4 people, 130,000 Kenyan shillings. So you can divide that, 130,000 Tanzanian shillings. So you can divide that. Now our next accommodation for the next day was an apartment in Goba. Yes, that is you remember the dark apartment I was talking about. We stayed there for 1 night and it costed us 150,000 Tanzanian shillings. Now, the other apartment we stayed at was the balcony room in Zanzibar. Balcony room, we stayed there for 2 days and it costed us 187,000 Tanzanian shillings. That one is the total for 2 days. When we left Zanzibar after the second day, we headed towards Lighthouse in Nungwi. The lighthouse in Nungwi, the first time we stayed for 1 night. We had decided to stay for 1 night, but we decided again to add another night because it got too late, because we had too much fun in Eskizalu. The lighthouse costed us 128,000 Tanzanian shillings the first day, but the second day we negotiated because we were coming back and we were booking offline. Okay, we were charged 141,600 Tanzanian shillings. All those costs were the total cost for all of us, so you can divide that by 4. Now the next place we went to was in Uroa. It was a hotel, but okay, the one with the very, very quiet beach, beautiful beach, where we did the competition for running and the Maasai people were defeated. Now that place, it was 1 room. Actually it was 2 bedrooms, but it was a hotel where we paid for our own food, but they were just for the accommodation. It was 319,000 Tanzanian shillings, 200. From Uroa, we drove back Remember, we were doing a road trip. At this point, we had hired a car in Zanzibar. When we were going around Zanzibar, we hired a car. Now, when we drove back to the stone town, we went back to the balcony house. That is the shared space we were staying in. Very clean. I told you guys I could not believe that I could be comfortable in a shared space, but it happened. We stayed there for one night so that we can catch the ferry. And this time round, we paid 116,000 Tanzanian shillings. From Stone Town, we crossed over back using the ferry and we went to the beautiful apartment that we stayed at, the ferry house, that one. And the one that you guys have been asking about. There we paid 351,936 Tanzanian shillings per night. That was meant to be our treat, and it was the most expensive night in the entire trip. Now from there, we stayed in Dar es Salaam for another 2 nights. And the first place we went to some other shared space in Dar es Salaam. It is somewhere, I've forgotten even the name. It is somewhere next to the, okay, I'm sure we showed you guys, and it was in a shared space. It was 92,000 Tanzanian shillings. That is one of the cheapest houses we stayed at, and there were 2 rooms and 2 beds, separate locations but within the same building. 92,000 Tanzanian shillings. Now on our very last day, we went to the Vos. Now the Vos is where we had a Kenyan manager, and there we paid 100,000 Tanzanian shillings. That one, all those costs are the total amount for the 2 rooms we stayed at each time and for the 2 beds. So you divide all that cost by 4, and our total is 1,717,736 Tanzanian shillings. Now when you're going to these places, there are so many other hidden charges that you'll require, and one of them is the guide fee. Going to Prison Island, you need a guide who will take you around Prison Island. There is also the boat ride, because you are crossing from Zanzibar to Prison Island. Also, when you're going to Spice Farm, there is no guide fee, but you should tip the guide. Yes, that one is just free because it's a community project. You just tip the guide, and you can also buy their products to support the community. However, you'll have to pay for the taxi that will take you there. Unless you have hired a car, you'll pay for the taxi. Also, when you are going to Jozani Forest, you'll be given a guide, and you'll also need to pay for that. Now, for all those charges, I got somewhere where there is all those. I took a photo. I took this photo. It will show you the amount of money you will require for all those guidance and getting to your touristic destination. Now check out this picture. For us, the guide fees and the tips costed us 294,000 Tanzanian shillings. 294,000 Tanzanian shillings for all of us, 4 people. So bear that in mind. It could be cheaper depending on where you'll be going. Now, while you are in Zanzibar, if you need to hire a car, you must have your driving license. Remember that. Carry your driving license if you hire a car. Now, before you get you're allowed to get the car, you'll have to get the driver's permit, and you'll pay 35,000 Tanzanian shillings. That is what we paid. We hired the car twice. The first time it was in form of a taxi. When we were going to the Spice Farm, we paid 20,000 Tanzanian shillings. That was just a short distance. It took us maybe an hour and back another hour. But now when I was hiring the car, for me to drive, I was required to provide the driving license, and I paid the driver's permit for 35,000 Tanzanian shillings. And the house, for me to get the car, we were charged 77,333 Tanzanian shillings per day. Now, for the 3 days, it costed us 232,000 Tanzanian shillings. You're given the car for 24 hours. If you can delay for another 1 hour if the owner allows. We were given 1 hour, but we delayed for 2 hours. No, for every hour, we were charged 20,000 Tanzanian shillings. Yes, you have to keep time. African timers like us, woe unto us. Now the total amount for hiring the car was 344,000 Tanzanian shillings. Now we divided that by 4 for each individual. Okay, there is food and there is airtime that we bought, but that one, it all depends with what you are eating and how much calls you're making, and if where you are there is Wi-Fi, so I cannot really give you like a proper estimate on that. Our budget was 50,000 Kenyan shillings. That is how optimistic we were, but we carried extra money just in case it goes beyond that. Always carry extra money, guys. Don't be so strict on the budget, because accidents happen, other additional adventures come, especially if you are as spontaneous as we are. But for each person, we spent 600. For each person, it was 67,121 Kenyan shillings. Convert that into dollars or whichever currency you like. 67,123 Kenyan shillings. It was above our budget slightly, but you can imagine, every time you are planning to go to Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar, you always think like, most people have been telling me, yeah, should I have like around 150,000 Kenyan shillings for maybe like 5 days? But I just told them, you'll be surprised when you know how much we spent. 67,000, guys, 67,000 Kenyan shillings. That is how cheap that trip was. You can travel on a budget if you're a backpacker, and taking the car, okay, doing road trips is cheaper by far because you'll get maximum value for your money. You'll go to different places you could not have gone to. You can break along the road. Even if you don't get accommodation, you can just light the seat and sleep in a petrol station. That is also an option. You don't have to stay somewhere. Remember that. So guys, I hope I've answered your questions. But first, if you've not watched any of the videos on this trip to Dar es Salaam and Tanzania, you're missing out. Imagine we went around the entire Tanzania on road. No, sorry, the entire Zanzibar, the entire island on road, and went to Zanzibar, went to Tanzania by road. So watch that video, watch the entire documentary. It's a 3-hour documentary, so when you're chilling, maybe on a weekend, watch it. This video has been helpful to you. Hit that like button and comment below. But guys, I'm back, so there'll be more road trips coming, and I'm excited. I'll show you the video of this place and you will love it. Just start booking already. Start booking already. So for now, guys, bye, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Bye.